Hello, welcome to Chariot. You see, when it comes to prophecy, usually I am one of the very few that is very skeptical about what I hear. Very skeptical about what I believe. Usually I am one of the few that will usually sit down to scrutinize and critically analyze everything that I hear before I can tend to choose what I will believe. Why am I saying this? Recently, a video just surfaced the internet. A very troubling video of a man of God where he was shown making some futuristic declarations and statements of, according to him, the things that are bound to happen within this exact time frame. So when I came to compare the statements that I heard from the prophecy, comparing them side by side with most of the recent happenings, it was very scary because, believe it or not, some of the things that have happened within this time frame, most of them tend to validate all the things that this man said that would happen. He now gives a question about the further things that, according to him, he said will happen before 2027. Before I take you deep into this video, I want us to look at some of the significant happenings that have happened in the recent times, that when you see this prophecy, you will tend to believe with me that these happenings tend to validate the statements of this man. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please like this video and subscribe to this channel so that trending topics like this can easily come your way. Now, let's look at some of these recent happenings that tends to give credibility to the prophecy of this man of God. Stay to the end. At the end, I am going to review all these prophecies to you. I will be right back.
Nobody should use the Nigerian nation or the Nigerian institution for his personal political gain. Nobody, not even the president. Nobody is begging anybody. They arrest a critic, we shut down the place. They are not more than Nigerians. But you see this opposition, they are the most unserious. Let me finish, because you always cut me when I want to call them out. They are the most unserious, they are the most lethargic, they are the most cold, they are the most uninspiring set of opposition in the country. Election is in 6 months' time, January 16th. There should be a test of power of the people on the street before the election, so that the government understands that if you don't give us free and fair election, there will be no country for you to lead. That is critical. But I don't see Atiku or Peter Obi doing that. They are too comfortable to be opposition leaders.
I repeat, it will be a miracle if Atiku Abubakar or Peter Obi finally makes it on the ballot in this election. It will be a big miracle.
Let me say it clearly and boldly, no matter who is offended, I don't care. There is no judiciary in Nigeria today. There is no single judiciary. How come every high political matter, every serious political matter that will affect the fortunes of the opposition negatively, they are always either brought before Peter Lifu or Omotosho? Are there no other judges in the Federal High Court? Why will the Chief Justice of FCT be referring matters, sensitive political matters, to just 3 judges of the High Court? This is not the judiciary.
Wait, before you continue, I want you to like this video and subscribe to this channel. This is one way you can encourage me to keep on making informative content that can reach your doorstep. As you watch the video, please do not forget to drop what you think about this video in the comment section. Your feedback helps me make better content. Now, if you've done that, you can continue.
It is in Nigeria that I now know that when opposition are doing primaries election, or they are doing convention, or they are doing anything, that public facilities like schools, convention centers, garden centers are no longer available for them. It was never like that.
That's if they're in the opposition.
Eagle Square used to be available for both PDP and any other political
that's if they are in the opposition.
Yeah,
but if they are in the ruling party,
it's
more than surplus.
Now, your ordinary primary school compound want an open place for secondary school, if you are in opposition, especially in P2B's party, you can't even use it anymore.
Even rented,
you can't rent it.
What of rented facilities?
Even your personal property, there is a way you rent it to NDC if Obi is in NDC. If Obi moves to any other party tomorrow, if you rent it to that party, they'll start looking at your plan whether it was approved before you constructed, and too many nonsense. I mean, why they are abusing having a fake agency that they are allocating money to? Enough of this thing.
Okay, they see all these things. They realize that there needs to be opposition to checkmate a ruling party. They still went and gave this particular guy the party. Why are you surprised about the rulings of this particular judge? Your judges are being given mansions, and you are not worried.
The way they are going now, truly.
Yes. So there's a possibility you may not be a candidate based on how.
Not even a candidate. I might not even be alive.
Your judges, your justices are being dashed mansions by politicians, and you are not worried. These particular politicians, they don't lose cases before these judges, and you are not worried. There is no judiciary. Look at what Peter Lifu did the last time. Supreme Court said what? Suspend all hearings on a particular matter. Appeal Court rather. Suspend all hearings. And Appeal Court is higher than the High Court. Suspend all hearings on a particular matter. This particular guy still went ahead. And there is no disciplinary action against him till today.
Ayo, with due respect, you said we should not be like countries like Uganda that the silence opposition and put them in prison. Ayo, we've already passed the level of Uganda. Newsflash, have you heard of a certain man called Nasir El-Rufai that has been incarcerated for how many days now? Over 140 going to 150 days.
So he did say on TV that he tapped the phone of the NSA.
He said that he tapped the phone of the NSA.
But was he granted bail and then released and then?
Let me tell you the kind of bail he was granted.
Yeah.
That's what we are saying. They deliberately made the bail conditions very simple, which we all know is all because of politics. Forget all of that, Ayo. They said the bail condition, he has to go and take authorization from the traditional leading council, traditional chiefs council in Kaduna State. You know that's not possible. You know, and those councils said they're not going to give it to him. So whatever offense he has committed, bail is so hard, going to 150 days now for El-Rufai. Reminds you of a certain guy called Tundu Lisu.
Showore is a personal friend of mine. When I say personal friend of mine. I was with him. I went to visit him in prison the last time he was in prison. Showore is fighting against this government, right? What stops the opposition from, okay, all the things Showore is maybe protesting against? If Showore says we are protesting against fuel price increase tomorrow, or gas, or whatever tomorrow, with his maybe 1,000 protesters, why won't the opposition mobilize like 5,000 and join him? Or like 10,000 and join him? There should be only one single opposition against Tinubu going into 2027. Once you start dividing yourselves, NDC, Peter Obi, ADC, Atiku, AAC, Showore, PRP, Donald Duke, the moment you start dividing yourselves in groups, Tinubu will flog all of you.
Nigerian youth, I already see your reaction.
Not ready.
They are not ready. But they are very loud, very vociferous on social media.
I said not ready. Social media does not win an election. Social media does not change a government policy. Social media does not move government's hand. When Jonathan in January of 2012, when Jonathan partly removed subsidy, and fuel went from 97 naira to 141 naira. I remember because I was in VI that night, that morning that the announcement was made. There was an immediate shutting down of the system. People trooped out to Ojota, people trooped out everywhere across the country. There was simultaneous mobilization. People came out to say, no, we will not accept this. Right? Today, fuel is 1,241 naira. For an oil-producing nation, that should be unacceptable. In fact, an oil-producing nation should never remove subsidy from fuel, because that is the only benefit citizens get from being citizens of an oil-producing country. I should not pay the same amount as Ghana if Ghana does not have oil.
So Nigeria has passed that level. The question we should ask is that, did Peter Obi say this in the last election? No. How can you explain, Ayo, that Peter Obi moved to NDC on the 3rd of May? Work with me. On the 5th of May, a certain entity called Peace Something Political Party went to file a case against NDC. And based on that case, they've been deregistered today. As we speak, you know NDC is deregistered. Yes, forget the fact that INEC give them code to be able to upload. They're already deregistered though, as we speak. Like I keep saying, the grand plan is to ensure that ADC and NDC are not on the ballot. And as we keep going with time, these things keep getting clearer. Did all of this happen in the last election? As we even called Buhari and said, oh, we call Buhari all sorts of names. Did you ever hear that there was a rancor like this in the last election?
Only the redesign of the Naira.
It was only the design of the Naira. Did you ever hear that there was a rancor like this that Peter Obi was coming out to say? So, see, Oyanuga can respond and say, he's saying this, he's saying that, he's saying this, he's saying that, I should bring proof and evidence. That's between both of them. But it will only you will only be delusional to think that the hand of God is not moving in the political affairs of things, that all of these court cases, the courts are just going to cases for themselves, Abi. It's not people that are filing these cases. All of a sudden, ADC, 1 week, they register. The second week, NDC, they register. Everything is being done to stifle opposition. All of a sudden, they change electoral law to be able to have enough time to perfect things before the election. All of a sudden, we now have a longer window. Normally, in the former electoral law, all this period, we are still thinking of who to be presidential candidate and all of that. All of a sudden, things have just fast-tracked and fast-forward.
Nigeria is in the hand of political bandits, political undertakers.
I repeat, it will be a miracle if Atiku Abubakar or Peter Obi finally makes it on the ballot in this election.
When we say opposition, please don't tell me anything about press release. That's the laziest opposition strategy I've seen in my entire life. Press release. Tinubu does something, but Jabi Amida does press release. No, that's not opposition.
So what do you expect to be done?
Confrontation.
How? That's violence. That's a cause
no,
of violence.
Confrontation.
Okay.
It's not violence. Total defiance.
Wait, before you continue, I want you to like this video and subscribe to this channel. This is one way you can encourage me to keep on making informative content that can reach your doorstep. As you watch the video, please do not forget to drop what you think about this video in the comment section. Your feedback helps me make better content. Now, if you've done that, you can continue.
Now this one can go online. It's about Peter Obi. I'm not a politician, I hope you know. And I don't stand by politics. I don't visit them, I don't call them. But I spoke like that 2003 during the Ngige regime. After speaking few months, Ngige was removed. Peter Obi was brought in as the governor. Then another election came, they brought another man from PDP. And I say, PDP, your power to produce governor in this state is now nullified as far as I'm still in this state. And from that time till tomorrow, PDP is dead in Anambra State. And I told the man they brought, they will swear you in, but if you last 30 days in office as governor, I'll close down this church and throw away my Bible and look for a job somewhere. Late Reverend Owam, my spiritual father then, beat me at the back. I say, you don't know this man and his capacity. I say, you don't know who called me and his capacity. After the election, they swore the man in. 16 days, they removed the man and brought Peter Obi. Now, if you know him, tell him, I, Bishop Osaji Patrick, said, he will wash his back and build up a legal stuff. I saw his candidature withdrawn between November ending and first week of December. And it was a high conspiracy. A high conspiracy that NDC, okay, will within that period declare that they have no confidence in him, therefore he's no more their candidate. While he's on court process, general election will happen. I don't talk, and all the things I say in January about this year, are they not happening?
Yeah.
Huh? Are they not happening? Signs in the sky, alien being found in some countries, virus that disease that break out and kill people in hours. April 1, Anka virus. Now I had information 2 days ago that Ebola newly broke out in Congo and people are dying in their numbers. The only one that is remaining is division of Nigeria, which is like just like this.
And it will happen.
We don't just talk. I know of whom I believe. I'm not a politician. Between November ending and first, second week of December, only God will save him. They will cancel his candidature. And only court will be his option. And while they are in court process, general election happens, and that's it. And the conspiracy is too high.
All right. Imagine waking up one morning just to discover that there is no one left to question those in power. No voice again to speak, no organized political institution to question the government on any wrong decision they are taking. Imagine that there is no opposition at all to question the decisions that are made by those in government. Would that be a true test of democracy? Now, I believe that the true test of democracy is seen not in how powerful the ruling party is, but how the ability how great and powerful the opposition is. Believe it or not, any government that that runs uncheckmated at the long run tend to miss out, tend to not focus on what the people want again. In as much as most times prophecies and happenings happen, which most times someone might definitely not bring himself to believe until he sees that everything has happened. But yet, democracy, as long as Nigeria still practices democracy, it must be upheld. Oppositions must be encouraged to remain strong, not as a ruling government, and everything you do is indirectly and intentionally targeting the opposition. Anyone that speaks is either you go after the person or you go ahead to bring the person into your camp. Come, let's share. Let us share the homework. This is not the kind of democracy that will take us anywhere. It is not the kind of democracy that will take us anywhere. The only way that should be encouraged, or the only way to silence opposition that should be encouraged, should only be the people's way. What do I mean by the people's way? A government that is intentional about the people. A government that is goal-oriented. What do I mean by intentional about the people? Most of the policies and decisions that you are making must be centered around the people, not out of selfish gains, or you want to do this so that you favor the people around you so that you can actually come out for the next tenure. You've not actually finished your tenure. You focus on another campaigning process just to bring yourself in for the next tenure. The government, for you to silence opposition the right way, focus on the people themselves. You must be goal-oriented. A government that can fulfill its promises. Not that you make a promise today and before you know it, you'll be found wanting. Unfortunately, we have what we practice in Nigeria today is a government that tends to victimize its citizens. When once you come out to criticize the ruling government, before you know it, they start scrutinizing, they start victimizing you, coming after you. You'll be shocked that all the properties that you have will be under surveillance. the way they will be, it will just look as though they are pointing torchlight on you, looking at everything just to find out how to come after you or victimize you. This is not the type of government that can lead anyone to the right place. So for government to move in the right directions, oppositions must be encouraged, because those are the people that will ensure that whenever they are taking the wrong steps, they call them to order. They question the decisions that they are making. People tend to do the right things when they believe that someone is watching them, when they believe that someone is watching, someone will ask you questions when you do the wrong things. But when someone believes that nobody is watching, nobody cares, what happens? The person tends to do the kind of things they want. By the way, nobody is watching, nobody is going to talk. It will end up crumbling, it will end up trampling on all the oppositions in Nigeria. Before you know it, will start having a kind of government that will actually be passing from father to son. But God will not allow it. God will not allow it. Building a strong nation begins from the foundation. It begins from individual steps. Citizens taking positive steps in the right direction. Nigeria can still be great again if everyone will sit up and decide to do the right thing. Like this video and subscribe to this channel to always get in touch with trendy videos like this. This is Uche React. I will see you in the next one. Try and stay safe.